So hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Alex. As many of you know, I will be hosting the wonderful team of Everwealth today here in Phoenix with us. So far, we have only one member, and I will actually let him introduce himself. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, hi, I'm Gern. I'm the owner of Everwealth. Um, and I also have a crypto community called NFA. And over there, we host AMAs, calls. We basically bring projects for our investors. And it's one of the unique things with Everwealth is all the owners own a crypto community themselves. And we got together and created Everwealth as a collaboration. So. We'll talk about more about that as we go along. But the other members of the core team, you have Matt, who's part of another community called Rebels Traders. Same thing, AMAs, and they bring projects to the community. And then we have John, who Matt is our developer, and then John is very involved in marketing and has a lot of connections in the space alongside his own community as well. And together we came together and decided to launch Everwealth. So that's basically a quick introduction about the team.
Awesome. That's quite interesting to figure out that basically all of the team members actually have their own communities. So that gives you guys a broad audience, an extended, if I may, perspective over the space, and definitely plenty of experience. I mean, there's no second doubt in that. Um, Now, considering that we already know, so you have your own community, and most of the members do as well. But let's try and figure out a bit more about you, if that's okay. How did you get into the crypto space in the first place? What was the start of it?
I've been in it in and out since 2013. Every time the hype got pretty nice there with Bitcoin and stuff like that, I will come back. Got more serious back in 2017 and very serious back in 2021 when I found DeFi. I'm full blown DeFi now, so very invested in DeFi, and I'm here to stay with DeFi. Um, this project itself has been in the making for about 6 months. Through discussions through the different communities and connections that we have. But yeah, that's what started it all for me. And I really like the space, so I decided to make something that's good for the space as well.
It makes sense. It makes sense. And within your vast experience, because of course you've been around since 2013. I had no idea what crypto was back then. But if you could give your own perspective as to, let's say, let's compare 2017 and 2021, because I understand from your comment that these two were very important, let's say, periods in your crypto endeavor. So how did you feel? Of course, we had an all-time high on BNB and on Bitcoin as well. But how did you feel in terms of creating a project? Was 2017 a potentially better period, or was 2021/2022 an even better one, given all the factors around it? I was not in crypto in 2017, so that's why I'm asking you, how was it back then?
Yeah, I mean, for DeFi, definitely now it's better. Since that has been the what has blown up as of recent. Um, Back then I didn't know DeFi, so I couldn't tell you. I was just investing in the typical uh coins, XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, that type of stuff. Uh, but now after 2021, I've been full on DeFi. So it's definitely better, I think, as the years, um, as we move on and we progress through the years, it gets better and better for crypto as more adoption takes place. And that's all about adoption. As long as we have more adoption, the space continues to get better and better and better.
I'm definitely with you on that. And the let's say the second part of my question, and now you're probably gonna understand why I've asked you about the 17 versus 2021. Do you think, or actually, what's your perspective in regards to DeFi and actually crypto in general? Are we reaching some sort of barrier, and are we being targeted that much? And by that, I mean eventually we won't see the DeFi space anymore and everything's going to be centralized in a way or another? Or are we actually early within the DeFi space?
Well, yeah, they're trying to crack down on DeFi. They're trying to control everything, and that's why DeFi is so good. It's so good that you're in it right now because we it might not be the same way in a couple of years. So I think you're in a good place, and you should take advantage of it now. Because especially around the U.S., the government is trying to crack down on DeFi and trying to get their hands, on everything they can.
Yeah, they pretty much need to take a portion, actually not a portion, a big chunk, I would say, out of the space. Which again, not to digress into this discussion, but for the people out there, for the potential investors in this project and pretty much every other project, um, it's not fair. But I feel at a certain point, I don't think we're close to that period right now, because um, how I feel it is right now they're trying to grab something, but they don't know how to act on it. They're trying to centralize something that it can be done, not at the moment. So yeah, I was just curious to understand your judgment on the past, the present, and eventually the future. We'll see what happens. But tell me something about Everwealth, because yeah, we need to get back on that track, of course. How did the idea actually appear? Of course, you could have probably at some point hire a developer, some advisors, a marketing, and go from there. How did you get the people? How did you incentivize the people to actually be with you in this endeavor?
Yeah, yeah. So like I said, we've been discussing doing something like this for a while, um, and we just now decided to move along with it. How did we find the people? The people are the people I've been dealing with for a very long time. So everyone that's involved in this project, I've known for at least anywhere between 4 months or longer, even up to a year. So these people that I know, I trust, I know that can handle money, that they handle large sums of money themselves. So um, I trust them right around money. So that's a very important thing for me. Um, but some unique stuff with Everwealth is, for example, there's no team tokens, there's no developer wallets or anything like that. I, as an owner, do not have any free tokens. I did not airdrop myself any free tokens or anything like that, and that goes for everyone else in our project. So if you have any tokens in this project, you bought it at a certain point, whether it be private sale, pre-sale, or launch. You had to buy to hold any of our tokens. We feel that's very important. Another cool thing with us is we had a private sale, like many other projects do. You host a private sale before your pre-sale to get some funds for marketing and or development. So we utilize those funds for development and then later on for our last marketing push for pre-sale. Um, but then all of those funds, which is 70 BNB, that equate to 175 million tokens, they're locked forever. So unlike other projects where the pre-sale, the private sale is dumping for a 2x and a quick in and out, they're locked forever. They can never sell their tokens, and therefore they're giving this project a real floor and a real chance to really take off, because you're not gonna have it go below pre-sale price or anything like that. Since out of a 1 billion supply, you're locking right away 175 million out of that supply. And then another cool thing with us is we launched with utility right away. So we had staking available. We had a D app available. You can see your staking, your rewards. You can compound both of them, and you get, if you stake your tokens, you get Everwealth tokens in return for staking. And on top of that, you get BUSD rewards. So you get both. You don't have to choose one or the other. And we thought that was pretty cool to do something different, right? In the space where the team is there, readily available docs, KYC, everything's audited. And there's no free tokens. Private sale cannot dump. It's completely different. And you don't really see something like that in the space.
Honestly, I mean, of course, just on what we spoke so far, if we take them individually, um, maybe at some point, I'm saying maybe because I don't know for a fact, maybe at some point there were some tokens that individually had some of the features. One of them had this, the other one had that. But what what brings it to another level, from my perspective, is let's say the fact that you guys are trying to encompass and basically bridge everything onto under one roof. This is what brings you the uniqueness of the project itself, at least of course from what we spoke so far. Now, one quick comment on strictly on the private sale, because actually this caught my eye. You guys made it very very clear on the white paper. You used caps lock, bold, and underline on the locked forever part, and yeah, it's only normal that it kind of jumps in your eyes. Uh, Aside from the fact that probably the transaction itself, where you lock these tokens, the transaction itself can be visible. Um, why lock it? Why lock them forever? Of course, taking aside the obvious reason, the ground floor. Why not eventually have these funds available at some point?
Yeah. One of them, we wanted to be different. We wanted to provide a community project where the community benefits, and not just the ones on the inside and the developers and the owners. You know what I mean? So we wanted to make it as fair as possible for the community themselves to benefit from our project, and for them to get a real source of passive income, because we are a high rewards token. Okay, in the heart of things, we want to give everyone as much BUSD as possible by just holding our token. Um, it's hard to achieve that if the private sale is just dumping for a 2x or something like that. It might kill the project and it might never get off the ground. You know what I mean? Versus now, what we have now is a real floor that can never be sold, and those private folks, they do benefit from passive income, as they do have they got 100% extra tokens for their contribution. So if they contributed to BNB, they got 4 BNB worth of tokens, and they're always going to get passive uh, rewards for holding those tokens forever, right? So that is their return on investment, and they made some pretty good BUSD rewards to date. We're going on a week already, so I'm pretty sure they'll make their money back pretty quickly when we catch a little bit more volume here. But that is why we did it. We wanted to have the real floor, and we know we could achieve a better result by doing something different, something bold, by locking them forever. We haven't seen it done before, and in this space, people like shiny new things. So we decided to do something different and shiny and different, right? Maybe attract some investors that way.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Definitely. I think something different is what the current space needs. You know what the problem from my perspective, and I would love to hear your insight on it. I think the problem right now on the BSC space, but not only on the BSC. I know people are hyped about other blockchains right now, whatever. In the end, they will end up within the same spot, is because we keep seeing the same things over and over again. Meme coins are good. Meme coins are okay, but yeah, we rely on the same names. We had a huge volume in gaming tokens. At the moment, there are over 1,500 active blockchain games. How many of them will survive remains to be seen. But you guys, I mean, you guys and so many other projects out there, you're trying to be different, you're trying to be unique, but the problem is people are not used to that. And this is what needs to be brought over to the BSC. We need to see stuff like this, to be bold, to act on your gut and to say, listen, this is what I think it's going to work and I'm going to do it. It is what it is. Because either you launch a token that has never been seen before, its features are unique, or you do the same thing all over and over again. They both could fail, but at least you know that you try to be different. And I think that the success rate is higher when you're being different than when you're trying to do the same thing as other 100 tokens. So
Yeah,
I don't know if you agree with me on that one. Yeah.
yeah, no, you're 100% right, and it's shocking what you see. Like, there's people throwing their life savings into projects that are not docs, not KYZ, um, completely, anonymous, and they get rugged, and then they wonder why. Even though I'm all for that too, but you have to know, you have to do your research, know who you're dealing with. With this project, you have that safety, right? Safety was the most important thing we we have on the forefront of everything we did. So everything's audited, everything's contract wise, it looks secure, right? For the audits that we did two audits, three audits actually, two on the contract, one on the staking. Um, KYC doxed, the team has been on camera many times. I personally own a YouTube video. Uh, I do YouTube videos. I'm on camera there all the time. On VC, we get on camera. Like, it's giving you safety. Our marketing wallet has a multi-sig function that, like, no one person can rogue and just take everything themselves. Liquidity locked. You name it, man. No dev wallets, no team wallets. So when we say high rewards, those rewards are going to holders. So if you hold a good amount of share, a good amount of tokens, you're gonna get a good amount of rewards. All we need is to pump that volume, and volume is gonna come. It's not gonna come from a pump and dump. It's not gonna come from a mean aspect. It's gonna come from development. It's gonna come from pushing the things on our roadmap. It's gonna come from the partnerships we got lined up and are gonna be announcing soon. So it's gonna come. It's just a matter of time. And it'll be wise for those that are maybe sitting on the sidelines or don't know about the project. Do your research and start accumulating whilst the price is still relatively low.
Yeah, I was actually on the chart right now. There's only one Everwealth. So yeah, if you search that chart yeah, I use PooCoin for example. Um, it's there now. I think, and again, I'll without comparing you guys to other projects, I think it's right now it's the space. This is what BSC can do. This is its utmost possible um, effort, and it's not a problem of the token that it doesn't have value. This or that, you name it. The value of the token is there. The utility is being developed or already launched. Either fear or panic or patience or FUD or media, because people keep reading these stupid articles. I don't know if this is a general thing, but just as a parenthesis, I was talking to some people in the crypto space. They are beginners, and they were accumulating some let's say tokens. I never heard of them, and I told them you shouldn't invest just because someone else says so. Yeah, but the article, whatever, an article online said that they're good. Okay, but do you have any proof that they're good? Just because that, I mean, think about it. Maybe I'm paid to shill your token, and 150 people lose the money. Who is it to blame? Me, not the token itself. The token itself may have value. The token itself may actually end up having utility in the future. But we're not patient and we're relying on, unverified sources, as you said. I mean, personally, and this is just me, I would not invest in a token that doesn't even have an audit. An audit is pretty simple, and I think I don't know how cheap or expensive it is, Maybe you can share with me this detail, depending on the auditors. But it's an effort, it's an investment that you need to make in order to try and attract the investors. That's how I feel.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. I mean, the audits vary depending on the audit company that you use. You can get them for anywhere from like what was it, like 1.5 BNB all the way up to like, it can go as high as 20, 30 grand if you do a CERTIC audit. But there's a wide range in the middle that you can go for, and different companies charge differently depending on their how long they've been doing it and the success rate and all that. But yeah, it's definitely something I would watch out for. For me personally, one of the most important things is the team. I don't, you could have the most shiny thing and promise everything in the world. If I don't know who the team is, or I don't have any inside information on the team, I don't invest anymore. Completely stopped it. I've invested in so many projects in this space, and they have great stuff, right? They promise you the world. Uh, it could be a lie, or it could be they just cannot perform it. But if the team is solid, I invest no matter what they have. Because if they have a good team, I know they can make it happen, right? And that's what you have here with this project here with Everwell.
That's how I feel as well, and I'm so happy that you actually made the point. It brings confidence. It brings confidence to the table. Maybe these are not big factors for some of the investors or some of our listeners tonight, but let me tell you honestly, they should be. I mean, think about it. First of all, in what you're investing, aside for a white paper and a roadmap and so on and so forth, you're investing in a core group, and that's what you actually place your confidence in. Not the project itself, but the people who are working constantly day and night to bring those ideas. And just to skip to the next part, let's talk about the ideas of Everwelt. Tell us more about the project itself. What does it stand for? What are some of the upcoming short-term developments that we may see, as much as you can share, of course.
Yeah, yeah, sure. So at heart, Everwealth is, like I said, a high rewards token. We have staking available, but staking is not the main goal that we have. But it is a feature that we have, and we love it when everyone stakes their tokens. We have over 200 million tokens staked already. And then if you add to the 175 million that are locked, that's a good percentage of the supply that's already steady. It's not going to be sold. Um, so you can feel our token is very, very stable, very safe in that aspect. Um, so again, like I said, our high rewards token, but that's not it. That's not everything we're about. Ideally, what we want to do is do something different for the space, and do right by our investors. So we want the investors to get a first shot at really grabbing a good chunk of the supply, holding if they can, and just getting that passive income, right? The devs and the team itself is not going to be holding a large chunk because they don't have free tokens, right? So they got to buy what they got to buy. They want to spend 20 grand. That's 20 grand out of their own pocket, not 20 grand given to them for free, right? So that's at heart what we are. Now, we're also going to be uniting the space as best as we can. We're going to do that through partnerships. We're going to have a lot of partnerships. A lot of people are going to be saying, we're marketing, we're marketing. Well, marketing depends how you look at it. We spend a lot of money on some AMAs, and they have produced very little in terms of marketing, right? Um, so just spending money crazy like that is not marketing. What you need to do is proper investments and utilize your funds, in a right way, not just throwing it out at the hype and and say that's marketing. We find that getting in front of communities like this through an AMA is more beneficial than paying a celebrity to do a tweet or something like that, right? We're not a meme token. We're actually producing utility and bringing actually producing stuff, right? Not just being a hype. So that's why we're different in that aspect as well. Um, but partnerships is huge for us. So, for example, before we launched, we announced a partnership with another project called Vid Valley. Vid Valley is going to be actually providing the payment system for one of our utilities, which is a crypto marketplace that we're going to come up. If you're familiar with Fiverr, that's what one of the utilities we're going to push forward. And I know a lot of projects have pushed for this in the past, but we're going to try our best to make it successful. And even if it's not the most successful thing and it's not adopted by everyone in the space, because let's be realistic, that's really hard to do. At least we'll do our best to do something better for the space. Even if we cannot change the space ourselves, we're going to have a part in changing it because through our platform, we're going to provide safe services for users like you. Maybe you want to start your own project, or maybe you're looking to book a service, right? A crypto service, and you don't know where to go. If you come to our platform, you'll be able to not only find the service you're looking for, you'll be able to book it safely without getting scammed. And we're very proud of bringing that to our space, uniting projects through our ecosystem, bringing them together. We can even use their utilities, right? In the case of Vid Valley, their payment system is their utility. We're going to incorporate their utility within our ecosystem. And that's what we're going to do with a bunch more partnerships that we got lined up. And that's how we're going to be different. And ultimately, again, we want to make the space better. That's why we launched this project in the BSC. The BSC needs a lot of these better projects rather than just rugs and memes all over the place. They need good projects that want to stay around for long term and not just for a pump and dump for a week.
That's for sure. That's what I feel as well. We need to see something else. Yeah, I feel that this could have the potentially desired impact. And again, only time will tell, because this is not, as you said, this is not a meme token. This is not a token developed for you guys. First of all, it's not about the famous uh dev funds. It's not the case, because everything that's been raised, I'm gonna reiterate this towards the community, everything that has been raised in the private cell, we're talking about 70 BNB, has been locked. Not 1 year, not two, it's been locked forever. So basically it's there, but it's not accessible. Transaction, which of course could be made public if it's not already done by the team. So you guys can verify that yourself. So back to my comment, it's not about making money. Definitely, I think that a team that affords, we're talking about 70 BNB, which 70 BNB for a project could mean, let's say 10 call channels. I don't know, maybe they're more expensive. Let's say five. Five call channels could mean some serious traction in the chart. So as a comparison, this is what you guys there at Everwealth locked forever. Definitely you have something different in mind. You have another path that you want to go through. I personally, I'm caught into this. I think you are what the space needs right now, and I strongly hope that the community, at least our community and the others, in which you will promote and explain your token, will understand that this is not a usual. Let's launch it. Let's see how it goes. Okay, it died. On to the next one, and so on and so forth. That's the vibe that you guys are giving me right now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, the chart goes up and down. We have no concern with it going up and down, especially short term. This is not, people freak out over a couple days. This is not a couple day project. This is a project that you look into months of development down the road, and we're confident that we can make it happen. We're confident that we can produce what we said we're going to produce and over deliver rather than over promote, right? We're going to overachieve everything that we're showing in our roadmap. And, our roadmap right now shows a couple of utilities. In the near future, there's going to be a lot more in there, even for the current quarters that are listed. We're not the type of people that want to overhype something. We rather underhype and overdeliver, and that's going to be the case. And when people start finding out, who the team really is, they're going to sleep better at night, just holding their funds there and not having to worry, oh, did we get rugged overnight, or is this team going to ever do anything? Um, you don't have to worry about that with us. I can honestly say this is one of the projects, because I'm an investor myself, even though I'm part of the team, right? I'm an investor myself. I feel safe going to sleep, not having to watch the chart every hour. So I'm pretty happy with that. Just like I have other projects that I feel the same way about. Um, just being able to hold and not having to be concerned what's going to happen in the short term, because I know that long term, the team knows what they're doing. They have a good team, and they have a good vision, and they're going to see it through.
I think that as well. And again, it's just a perspective, because I think you guys kind of have everything figured, at least for now, and you bring a lot of, let's say, realistic ideas to the table. You're not trying to overdo it. You're not trying to jump from one feature to the other, but not finish either of them. So yeah, great way of thinking outside the box. And I'm just gonna make a small summary, because I think so far we kind of covered. I mean, we're looking here at a token which is fairly new. You guys had the pre-sale on 27th or 28th of March, if I'm not mistaken. It was quite a small pre-sale. Let me take a look on the website. Yeah. So you guys had a pre-sale of 150 with 300 BNB, a max contribution of 2. I can only assume, correct?
1.5. 1.5.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
No, it was a pre-sale, a hard cap, 300 BNB, max contribution 1.5 BNB. That gave us roughly 350,000 market cap on launch. I think we all-time high, we hit 2 million, and now we're hovering around 900,000 to a million market cap. So we got a pretty good entry at the moment, but it cannot go much lower than that. Remember, because a lot of our tokens are locked away and or staked already. So it's a really good entry at the moment.
Yes, I stand corrected. On the website, it's actually stated as 2 BNB max contribution. That's why I read it like that. But even so, now the community knows. And you are correct. Yes, at the moment, you are, let's say, kind of trading sideways at about 900K, and compared to your all-time high, I'll say probably 2.2 million, close to that margin. And that's, I mean, starting marketing cap was about 350. I'll assume you had at least 2.1. That's 6.5x at an all-time high. And at this point in time, it's only normal for every token to have a decrease. People take profits, people sell, people move on, people whatever. So I don't think it's a lack of interest. I just think it's something normal. And yeah, I could give so many examples, but I don't want to bore the people that are joining us right now in the voice chat. So yeah, I think the evolution of the chart so far, the traction in it's fairly reasonable. And as far as volume goes, it's not only your volume that dropped, it's the entire market volume that dropped, for various factors. So yeah, I'll leave it up to that. What else is there at the moment? Let me take a look. We kind of spoke about partnerships. We cannot go way deep into that, because of course you want to keep the mystery, you want to keep the surprise. What can you tell us about, before I open it to the community for some questions? What can you tell us about your taxes? How much are the taxes for the transactions?
Yeah, we haven't talked about taxes yet. That's crazy. So our tokenomics, you have an 8% buy tax, and 20% sales tax. Out of the buy tax and the sales tax are relatively similar. We have 1% going to an auto burn, so every transaction is going to burn 1% of the supply. 1% is going to go to auto liquidity, it's always going to go to liquidity. And then you have 2% that's going to go to marketing on every buy and sell. And where it differs is on the buy, you get 4% for rewards, and on the sell, you get 16% for rewards. So we did want to incentivize buying and not get hit that hard on the taxes, but also we want to incentivize holding by raising the tax on the way out. So if you're looking to exit, for the most part, you're going to be, I hope you're looking to exit at a profit. For the most part, everyone that got into our pre-sale is at profit. It's still at profit to this day, right? Um, and a lot of those that bought early because we're over around a 2x or so. They should still all be in profit. So even if they exit with a high tax, they're gonna have some profits, and those that stay back holding get a really nice reward, even though the chart looks red, right? They get BUSD rewards from holding, and we've seen it over and over again where there's a lot of sell-offs, right, on the chart, and then everyone that holds gets the BUSD rewards, and then we have a surge of buys that come in and erases all those sells and goes to like a new all-time high and stuff like that. So it's really nice to see the comps at work. So what we as a team will do for volume is, and we get this question in chat, is like, when are we going to bring more volume in? And again, guys, this is a project that's been around for a week only, and we've done a lot of things in terms of marketing to this date. We haven't stopped since day one, right? For the pre-sale stage, we hosted 20 AMAs. We did countless calls and posts all over the place, and we did all of that for free. So this team knows what they're doing, and we're gonna spend those marketing funds correctly, right? And we have been. Our marketing wallet is actually in our D app, so you can see it whenever we spend money for marketing. You can see the balance drop, right? So that goes to show how clear we're being, how transparent, and we want you to know what we're doing with your money. And you can feel free at any time ask us, unless it's something private we cannot tell you. We'll tell you what's going on, but that's the type of project we are, and hopefully you guys can take advantage of the current opportunity and join us.
This is quite a transparency that you guys are offering. And again, I don't want anyone here to get me wrong. The fact of the matter is that most of the tokens don't share the marketing development. Okay, maybe some of the people are actually interested, but the cruel fact, and this is my perspective, because back in last year, I would say, around this time or even earlier, we didn't have so many cold channels. Now today's marketing, and I'm sorry to say, but I'm serious about this, or so I've seen. Today's marketing means cold channels, and that's pretty much it. You're expecting a lot of volume from a single call or multiple calls, but and I'm no developer. I'm just gonna be bold and state you are failing to see above that. What's gonna happen when all the channels have called your token at least twice? First of all, it's gonna cost you a lot of money, and second of all, what options do you have? Because think about, I'm thinking one big channel calls you, so the price goes up because people buy. Now the second one, the second channel comes in. Maybe the first channel is already at a 3x, and they start selling, and so on and so forth, until at some point, what options do you have? So that's my concern, and I love to see that you guys are being honest with your marketing, and you're sharing the funds, let's say, as much as possible. Of course, the distribution of the funds. I think that's a great perspective to be covered for future tokens as well. Marketing is, in the end, the bread and butter. You could be a great team with a lot of ideas and a lot of knowledge, but if you don't market your product and you don't raise the awareness, you could lose pretty much all the hype and traction in quite some hours, if not quite some days, if not hours. Let's be reasonable here.
Yep, you're 100% right. But from experience, code channels, that might be a thing of the past, man. Because we spent a lot of money recently on some big dogs, big names, and let me tell you, that doesn't have the effect that it used to. It's different. Maybe for a meme token it might work, but utility tokens, you have to do a different path for marketing. You need to deliver on utility, and you need to market utility, not just hype with cold channels. That might not work for something like us.
Definitely. I think the same. And okay, let's with your permission, if that's okay, let's open the floor for some questions, and we can definitely continue. If people don't actually have questions, we can continue the conversation. If that's okay with you, we can open the
Yeah,
floor.
yeah,
Is
bro.
that okay? Perfect. So okay, for hands raised already. I'll start with the one that I saw first. CryptoPal. CryptoPal, you are unmuted. Please ask your question.
Hello?
Yep. Hello, we can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Hey Alex, how you doing?
You know me, man. Always great. How about you?
Can you hear me? Can you
Yeah,
hear
I
me?
can hear you just fine. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'll briefly ask my question. Yeah, it's basically about the project. Yeah, you see, there are so many projects in the crypto space. Yeah, and that have been coming into the crypto space day by day, and also there are also new members. Yeah, new users who are coming into the crypto space day by day. And you see, some of them would like to participate on your project because actually I've been listening to your project and it's a very good one. Yeah, and in terms of doing that, they decide to buy your token and keep it for a long period of time without knowing the value of the token and also the use of the token. So my question to you is, do you have any education system that can educate new users who are new to your project in the crypto space? And also, what are your team marketing plans for your project? And how does it benefit the long-term holders who hold your token for a long period of time without the short-term holders having access to it? Hope you get the question.
Yeah, I get these questions all the time. So, for educational, you're right. Where I think everyone should try to do some type of educational in their own way. Um, I have a personal YouTube channel. I'm gonna push education that way. We're gonna try to post those videos in our website, so people can access them, and hopefully not only does that help the space, but brings new eyes and holders into our project. Um, but as far as education as well, I think not only educating new people in the space, but also educating older investors when they want to maybe start their own project. Because you could have experience in the space and know how to trade, but you have no experience on how to launch a new project. And our platform, one of the utilities that we're going to have, it's going to be tailored through for those investors that have been in the space for a while, but maybe don't have the experience launching their own project, booking those services themselves, and we'll give them a safe place on how to find those services and not get scammed. Because even though you've been in the space for a while, you can easily get scammed. It is very dangerous in the space. So that's one of the things we're definitely going to do as far as education is concerned. And as far as marketing plans, again, our marketing strategy is not based around I'm sorry, I'll keep talking. Alex, can you bring up John? He's one of the core members. He raised his hand. But one of our for marketing, what we're gonna do is rather than just do calls and influencers that for the most part that's a waste of money. We're gonna do we're gonna do marketing around the the main focus of the project. We're gonna do marketing around the utilities that we're developing, and we're gonna do marketing around making the space better and big partnerships. That's where our marketing is gonna go. Not on go. Not, the money's not gonna go to calls and things that are designed for meme tokens per se. John, if I don't know if you can talk or not, but it's a marketing question. What is our marketing plans? I don't know if you can talk a little bit more about that.
Well, right now, obviously, we have a whole AMA schedule for the rest of the week. This is our second day into it. So we're really explaining what we have right now to the majority of the population that's in TG right now. But we obviously need to go reach out to the exterior as well, which are people that are not into Telegram. One of the things that we're starting right now is it's a YouTube campaign that's going to be going throughout different YouTube influencers. Right now, we're aiming towards the smaller ones, though, the ones that multiple ones, but that have real use. Because a lot of these influencers, of course, they don't actually get anything. You know, you can pay $20,000 to an influencer, and the guy's never been in crypto, and his followers just don't listen to him. Well, you can often have these smaller ones that these people definitely listen to because they trust them. And our types of YouTube videos will also be more onto the educational aspect of it. Won't be really like, hey, this is cool, come and join, you know. It's going to be more onto actually explaining what our token does and the extreme high rewards that it benefits off of. And as Gern was saying as well, too, the marketplace and what we really want to do with the use case on that aspect. So by educating the future investors, we're increasing our holders. That way, they'll be holding for long-term periods of time. Because indeed, we have two very good use cases for this. One, of course, is the marketplace that is coming up, which is going to be quite dominant because of the connections that we have, and we know who is legitimate, who is not. This is something that is needed. There's people working on it on other tokens as well, too, which is completely fine. We can have competition there, and it's fine. They know who we are, so they know that by going through us, that the calls that will be there will be safe. So that's what we want to do. For the passive income, it is something that a lot of people forget. And the revenue that you can actually make off passive income is quite interesting. Now, obviously, we do need the volume for that, which is something right now that we're trying to get back into, because once that volume is there, it is so good. These rewards that we're getting right now on day one, just with $500,000 worth of volume, I was getting between, I think it was about $600 or $800 I got on the first day, which is quite incredible there compared to a lot of other tokens. Even right now with this very low volume, I do have a lot of tokens. I have to admit, altogether, I have about maybe 20 million tokens. But out of that, I'm getting approximately right now close to about $200 to $300 a day, about 200 maybe, let's on really low days. This is with extremely low volume. Yeah.
How many free tokens they will give you to get that up to that 20 million?
None. I didn't get a single free token. I paid for everything, man. I wish I got free tokens. Give me free tokens.
And that's
Yeah,
what
no,
I've been telling these guys. You know, we're different, man. No free tokens. Even the owners here, we have to buy our own tokens here, man.
Exactly. Out of those, you know, I got my private spot and I got a whitelist spot as well too, which came with the private. When you bought in private, your tokens are locked forever there, and you also get a whitelist spot that I paid for that as well too. So altogether, I paid 3.5 BNB for that particular part, all of that, and I bought about for maybe $10,000 to $15,000 off the chart. And the buys that I did were actually a little bit more expensive than the price that is now my average buys. So I mean, it's there. When people see that the volume that they can make off of this, I mean, I got $50,000 in staking and other tokens that are very legitimate as well too. These are very good tokens as well. But the problem is there, even with my 50K, because of the amount that is getting done out of the APR, I'm getting even less than what I potentially could be making here when that volume is there. We want people to understand, compared to everything else, this can definitely be worth it. We just need more and more people to start coming in, help out on the chart as well too, by holding in the beginning. And afterwards, yeah, hell, man, sell all you want, man. Every time you sell, I'm getting paid, and so is everybody else that's in the token. But in the meantime, we need, of course, to get that FOMO going. And that FOMO comes in with a chart that keeps on going bullish. And right now, our chart is still very nice. It's definitely not a chart that is unattractive. It's something that is very rare right now in the BSC world. So we're definitely can work on this and keep on getting it. All we need, because we got the holders, we got the people that are there. They're not selling. They're not destroying the charts. They're there. They're holding. I'm holding. Gern's holding. Matt is holding. We have a whole admin, which all people in private that are holding as well too. Most of the tokens are either staked or just holding. I think out of the pre-sale, which was 207 people that filled at almost max contribution each, there's only, I think last time I checked was yesterday, I think it was only 19 people that have not staked or bought more out of those 207. Everybody else is either out, good for them, or they're bought more, which means they keep on buying, or they staked it and they're happy with staking. So, I mean, we got our holder base there, big time.
Okay. Well, I've listened to all what you have said, and yeah, you have given me a great answer. Nice project, and thanks for the opportunity, Alex. Thank you a lot.
Definitely. Thanks as well for the question. And I'll just make a quick comment here before I allow some more questions. People need to learn to stake the tokens. That's all I'm gonna say. You know, you gotta bring them to value. If you plan on holding, learn to stake them, understand what the APY is, and yeah, doesn't matter. Most of the time, your staking is gonna be locked. Yeah, it's better like that. Just my opinion. Of course, let's see the next question. I'm gonna take them in order. Jason, you are unmuted. Please ask your question.
Okay, thank you, sir. My question is, money project look great only on Tear, whatever, and roadmap, but facing a lot of difficulties when trying to implement the project mission and pilot. So, how do we ever well overcome every obstacle in its project development? Thank you.
Trying to understand your question. I don't know if Gern understood it.
I'm
I
repeat.
think the question is how we're gonna overcome obstacles in our roadmap or development.
When you said
Yes.
it, I think that's what he said. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I think the only obstacle we have right now, two, right? Two obstacles. One would be volume, and that's an obstacle every rewards token has. So we're gonna overcome that by not by creating fake hype and fake FOMO and stuff like that. We're gonna create that by delivering on our promise and delivering on our roadmap, right? So if we say, hey, by the end of quarter two, we're gonna give you A, B, and Z, we're gonna give you A, B, and Z, and probably give you D and E too. We're gonna give you more than what we have on our roadmap, and that's why we're different, and that's how we're gonna overcome that volume issue. The more we produce, the more we bring forth, the more partnerships we produce, the more eyes on our project, the more volume, the more investors come into our project. And then the second thing is going to be getting people to utilize our services, right? We want to create an ecosystem. But we could create the best ecosystem in the world, but we need people to use it. So it starts with our own community. So our own community, if you're listening here on this AMA, you'll play a big part in the overall success of this project, and not only this project, any other project that you invest in, you play a big part of that project, believe it or not, because it's all about the community, and the community involvement needs to be there. Community usage, community sharing their rewards, sharing how the utility can help them or the space. That's going to be how we overcome that that entry, that barrier of entry and our barrier of use when we start delivering our utilities as well. So that's the obstacles I see and how we can overcome those two.
Oh, great. Thank you for answering my question, sir.
Thanks as well for the question, Jason. Let's see. Trusted Brainiac, please unmuted, ask your question, and let's keep it just one question per person so that we can get to answer as many as possible. Thank you.
Hello, Bodo. Can you hear me?
Hey, my man. Yeah, just fine.
Okay. Hey, John, how are you?
Hey, what's up, man?
Okay. Okay. I'll just go straight to my question. You see, my question is in terms of the fundings of your project, because I've been listening to your project now, and you guys haven't discussed about the fundings of your project, because fundings is a very important aspect of our project. So I would like to ask, how do you plan to set a balance between you and the investors? Yeah, for you to benefit from your project, and also the investors benefit also from your project when it comes to the fundings of Kayemi.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, so I mean, how do you plan to set a balance, to create a balance between you and the investors for you to benefit from your project, and also the investors to benefit from your project when it comes to the fundings of your project? Because your project is a very good project. So I did like to know. Hope you get my question.
That's an easy one, man. Easy. So there's no team or dev wallet. So meaning for me as an owner of the project, as a core member of the project, as someone that's making the project, getting the project from point A to point B, the only way I benefit is from the project benefiting, just like as an investor would. Okay, so it's 100%. That's it. What we get most of out of this project, like me, John, and Matt, for example, as the core members, we get status in the space, right? So we get recognition for not only delivering a good project, but making people money, right? While doing so, bringing something safe, something better for the space. When you make something better for the space, you make a name for yourself. So that is the money wise, that is what we're getting out of it, a good reputation from this project. But as far as money and investment is concerned, we're an investor just like you would if you buy our project today. When the project does well, we do well. If the project does bad, we do bad, right? That's basically it.
Okay. Yeah. This is a great answer. Actually, I would like to ask.
I don't think I can hear you, man.
He cut off. Hey, Squall. Je veux juste te dire allô, mon ami.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but as I've said,
Okay.
just one question per person so
Yeah,
that we
yeah,
can
yeah.
get to as much
Yeah.
as possible.
I get you, bro. Actually, I would just say, you have answered my question, and also nice project. Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity, Alex. Thank you.
Sure, man. And yeah, thanks for understanding, for sure. So let's see, man. We have so many questions in line. I don't think we're gonna get to all of them, but let's see. Next person is Kyle. Kyle, please ask your question.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Sure.
So my question is actually about your token. So can you briefly explain how do you have any coin burn or buyback system for your token, and how do you ensure that the utility remains stable and slows down the inflation rate? You got a question?
You want to know if we have a buyback system and how we're using it?
Yeah.
Is that your question?
Yeah. And how do you ensure the utility remains stable and slows down inflation rate?
And the utility?
Yeah, bro.
Well, for the buyback, yes. Well, we have a 2% marketing fund. That 2% marketing fund is 2% of the taxes in and out that is accumulated, that is used for multi-use. It's used obviously for marketing because, well, that's marketing funds, but it is also used for buybacks and investment funds. The investments funds, we haven't yet started on that. But it is something that we will be looking into. The buyback, for example, if we find that we have some money that is used that can be used for buybacks, we'll do that. But we're not wasting our money either. Our marketing budget, of course, is not humongous. We're only taking a 2% tax. We're taking as little as needed. So we're not trying to be greedy on that either. We want to make sure that it's done right. But if we want to maximize what the investors are actually getting as benefits. So our other strategy with that as well too is, for example, I'll just give you an example here. We have this brand new token that's coming out that we've all vetted, that we all know is going to be doing great. It's this fantastic project with a great team behind it. With our connections, we're very easily able to get into either the private sale or the pre-sale and get a spot in there. So for example, we can decide that, okay, we'll invest 2 BNB, the max contribution, or even 5 BNB, depending on the project, whatever it is. And we'll put that money in there from the marketing wallet onto a specific wallet. That wallet will be the only one for the investment funds. So we add in that in there, and then the project does, I don't know, it does a 10x. Okay, let's say this one is really good, so it does a 10x. Well, we just did 10 times our investment on that one. We take that money out, and that money goes back into the marketing wallet, and we use that again for more buybacks or more marketing, etc. So everything is always traceable, and it's always going to be very clear. For example, our marketing wallet is even available onto our D app. And once we start the investment fund, we could even put in the that particular wallet in there as well too, like that you can see where that investment is at that particular time. These are things that we'll decide ourselves because of our experience, but with our administration room as well too, which is full already of community leaders, which all vote into which project to get into, and if we get in or not into that particular project. We can then afterwards, if there's a tie, for example, and we're not too sure, we can bring in the two follow-up winners and decide there, bring it to the community, which one out of these two do you guys want to go into, and they'll decide from there. We'll take that vote, and that will be it. So we're going to be doing that, but only on low risk, definitely at this time. Maybe eventually when the marketing wallet gets bigger and bigger and we have lots of extra funds, we can decide at that time to do a more of a gamble. So for example, more of a higher risk one that may potentially give higher rewards, but of course we can all lose that money with a rug or whatever, so we have to take that risk and understand, it's crypto for everybody. For the rest, marketplace coming out, we're going to be implementing that very shortly as soon as it's ready. And there we go. I don't know if I answered your question. I guess I did.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Kyle. Try to get out of that Telegram jail one day.
Hello, everyone.
Thanks for the question as well, Kyle, and thanks for the answer. Now, in all fairness, we will be taking one more question from the voice chat. Braveheart, I think I read that correctly. Unmuted, please ask your question.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep, fine.
Okay. First of all, thanks for the great opportunity. My question is really about the platform. Is your platform protected from hackers, and what reward am I going to get if I bring in new investors into your platform? Get the question?
Yeah. I'm not developing the platform myself, so it's hard for me to answer that. But obviously, we're going to try our best to make sure it's safe and secure. But I don't have the details as to the development of it. If you bring in, I think at the beginning, especially, yeah, we could have some type of incentive to incentivize people to come on board. But it's going to be something that, right off the bat, we can have over like 100 services listed right away. That's going to pretty much cover everything that you would need in the crypto space. We'll have it readily available when we launch, right? Because we already have partnerships. We already have communities that are on board, and everyone there offers services that you need to launch crypto projects and so forth. So if you're already with part of our project, you get the benefit that you don't even have to pay to be listed. But in the future, we will be charging projects to list with us. So that's why it's nice to get on board early on before everything's actually developed, and you get that perk that you don't have to pay later on. Maybe at the beginning we'll have some type of incentive to bring even more people to list with us. We would announce that in our Telegram.
Oh, that's cool. It's okay. Nice project, bro.
Thanks for the question. Now, let's see. There was someone in the chat, and after this, for sure, we will be starting to wrap up. Give me just a second because I think they wanted to know more details about the NFT. Okay, so yeah, what can you tell us about the NFTs? Is there anything that we didn't cover on the NFT side?
I don't think we even got to that yet, man. So yeah, NFTs, we're gonna have decentralized exchange listings and NFTs also in our roadmap. So just really quickly, utilities is gonna be buybacks, right? Buyback investment fund that John talked about. We're gonna have the crypto marketplace, similar to like Fiverr for crypto services. We're gonna have NFTs, and then we're also gonna list on decentralized exchanges. We're gonna have way more than that, but that is what we have readily available now to bring forth, right? But we'll have a lot more utilities as well. As far as the NFTs, we're going to keep it relatively short. No more than 200 will be available for minting. These are going to be pushed out to Q3. And they're going to be NFTs with utility. So you will be able to do various things with them, like stake them, get more tokens, get more rewards from them, more passive income. Ideally, we wanted to match what the token is trying to do, and the token is trying to give you more passive income, right? At the heart of everything we're doing. Also, a pretty unique feature with the NFTs that I can officially announce is that when we did the pre-sale, we actually purchased additional pre-sale bags, right? So 1.5 BNB contribution on the pre-sale, and we have those wallets from day one. They're accumulating BUSD rewards, and we're gonna have, when you mint out of the 200 NFTs, if you're able to mint one of those, and you're lucky enough to mint one of the rare NFTs, we will be giving you a full pre-sale bag with all the BUSD rewards from launch all the way up to when we release the NFTs. That's going to be given to that lucky person that mints the rare NFT. And they'll be able to get not only those tokens, but all those rewards as an added benefit alongside all the utility that the NFT is going to come with as well.
That's actually nice to hear. I'm happy that I asked a question about NFTs because that's another portion that you are correct. We never got to it. Now, since we're on this topic, and of course we are preparing to wrap it up, but not before I ask you, in regards to the token itself and the project, is there anything, because we just discovered one thing on the NFTs, is there anything else that you think we didn't get to discuss about, we didn't cover, that you wanna share towards the community?
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much you can talk to in this small time frame. I would just recommend, if you guys are truly interested, come over to our Telegram and check out our white paper, check out our website, ask as many questions as you want. But I do want to wrap it up by saying, when you invest in this space, you have to be very careful in what you invest in. I would recommend you invest in the team, get to know the team really well, and if they give you a sense of safety and secureness and a sense of they know what they're doing, and they can push your investment to the next level, I would suggest you invest in that, whatever that is, even if it's not us. That's just from my experience the best way to go about this space. You shouldn't be constantly worried about your investment 24/7, having to constantly watch the chart. If you invest in a good team, that team is going to push you through. And that's what we're trying to do here for the space, for all of our investors. And for all the projects that are going to partner with us, we're trying to do something different. And it's not going to be something that's going to be done in a week. It's going to be something that's going to be done in a long term. And the good thing is that you can stake your tokens with us. You double compound your rewards. You get Everwealth tokens, but you get BUSD rewards on top of that. You don't have to choose one or the other, and you have safe, peace of mind. And it's really important in this space to be able to invest in something and not be concerned to be rugged or just for the project not to do anything. So that's how I want to wrap it up here, and I want to thank you, Alex, for hosting us today. I appreciate your time.
Honestly, I think that's a great ending statement, and I thank you for that personally. And I like to close on my own ending statement as well. I saw something that I haven't seen in quite some time. I'll say probably at the beginning of my endeavor in crypto. I saw a team that has a very, very transparent and outside of the box thinking. You guys seem to have figured it all, and as I've said before, I love that you brought together a lot of experience, a lot of transparency on the marketing. You guys remember we spoke about this, and it's quite a big deal. Maybe it doesn't sound like it, but to know what the team is investing in, at least what can be shared, gives you an idea of where they are, where they're going to, which direction, and what they're targeting. So, and in that way, you don't need to think about your investment. Is it safe or not? And definitely, as the team mentioned, do your own research, figure out if this is for you or not, but definitely invest in the team, because that's what you're eventually looking for. The project, the concept, the ideas are great. It's a very well thought project, and I thank you everyone from the Everwealth team that you joined us here in Phoenix tonight and that you presented all of the features. We definitely wish you the best of luck, and we are happy to be part of this great project.
Thank you, Alex. Have a good one.
For sure. Thanks as well. Thanks to everybody.
Have a good one.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
John. Thanks, Matt, as well. Bye for now. Good evening.
Bye.